Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be tackling a common problem that many drivers face, a slipping clutch. A slipping clutch can make it difficult to accelerate, shift gears, and even come to a complete stop. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps on how to repair a slipping clutch yourself. I'll show you how to identify the problem, remove the transmission, replace the clutch disc and pressure plate, and reinstall everything. So if you're experiencing clutch problems, don't despair. Just follow along with this video and you'll be back on the road in no time. The first step is to identify whether your clutch is actually slipping. There are a few telltale signs to look out for. Loss of acceleration. If you're pressing the gas pedal but the engine revs are increasing without a corresponding increase in speed, your clutch is likely slipping. Burning smell. A burning smell is a sure sign that the clutch is overheating and slipping. Difficulty shifting gears. If you're having trouble shifting gears, especially into higher gears, it could be due to a slipping clutch. Judder or vibration. If you feel a judder or vibration when you accelerate, it could be a sign of a worn clutch. To repair a slipping clutch, you'll need the following tools and materials: socket set, wrench set, screwdriver set, jack and jack stands, transmission jack, clutch alignment tool, new clutch kit, grease, brake cleaner. Once you've gathered your tools and materials, you can begin the repair process. The first step is to remove the transmission. This can be a complex process, so it's important to consult a repair manual for your specific vehicle. Here's a general overview of the steps involved. Raise the vehicle using a jack and jack stands. Remove the wheels and any other components that are in the way of the transmission. Disconnect the battery to prevent electrical shorts. Drain the transmission fluid. Remove the drive shaft. Support the transmission with a transmission jack. Remove the bolts that attach the transmission to the engine. Carefully lower the transmission and remove it from the vehicle. With the transmission removed, you can now replace the clutch. This involves the following steps: remove the pressure plate bolts and lift off the pressure plate. Remove the clutch disc from the flywheel. Inspect the flywheel for wear and tear. If it's damaged, it will need to be resurfaced or replaced. Install the new clutch disc onto the flywheel, making sure it's properly aligned. Install the new pressure plate and tighten the bolts to the specified torque. Reinstall the transmission and all of the components that you removed. Once the transmission is reinstalled, you'll need to bleed the clutch hydraulic system to remove any air that may have gotten into the lines. This is important to ensure that the clutch engages properly. Here's how to bleed the clutch hydraulic system. Locate the bleeder valve on the clutch slave cylinder. Attach a hose to the bleeder valve and run the other end of the hose into a container of brake fluid. Have an assistant pump the clutch pedal several times. Open the bleeder valve and allow the brake fluid to flow out of the hose. Close the bleeder valve when you see clean brake fluid coming out of the hose. Repeat steps 3 to 5 until there are no more air bubbles in the brake fluid. Replacing a slipping clutch can be a challenging task, but it's definitely doable with the right tools and knowledge. If you're not comfortable doing it yourself, you can always take your vehicle to a professional mechanic. A slipping clutch is a common problem that can cause a variety of issues, including difficulty accelerating, loss of power, and even damage to the transmission. If you suspect that your clutch is slipping, it's important to have it diagnosed and repaired as soon as possible. There are a few different ways to diagnose a slipping clutch. One way is to listen for a high-pitched whining noise when you accelerate. Another way is to try to accelerate quickly from a stop. If the engine revs up but the car doesn't accelerate very quickly, then your clutch is probably slipping. Once you've diagnosed the problem, you'll need to decide whether to repair or replace the clutch. If the clutch is only slightly worn, you may be able to get away with just adjusting it. However, if the clutch is severely worn or damaged, you'll need to replace it. Replacing a clutch is a relatively complex job, so it's best to leave it to a professional mechanic. However, if you're feeling ambitious, you can try to do it yourself. There are a number of online resources that can help you with this task. Here are some of the steps involved in replacing a clutch. Remove the transmission. Remove the old clutch. Install the new clutch. Reinstall the transmission. Adjust the clutch. Once you've replaced the clutch, You'll need to break it in by driving gently for the first few hundred miles. After that, you should be able to enjoy your car's improved performance.